We are counting down less than a week now to a crucial vote in Paris at the International Bureau of Expositions that will determine the host of the 2030 World Expo. That being said, on today's edition of Issues and Insiders, we speak with a pair of foreign editors of a magazine in Busan and their efforts to promote Busan's bid to bring home the global event and their thoughts on the city's prospects. Hello and welcome. It's Friday here in Korea and you're watching yet another edition of Issues and Insiders. I'm Min Sunhee. Today we speak to editors of the magazine Busan Beat for their thoughts on the city and its prospects of hosting the 2030 World Expo. For this, I have Christopher Tressler live on the line. Christopher, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I also have Farnaz Pirasteh with us. Farnaz, welcome back. It's good to speak with you again.
It's an honor. Thank you for having me again.
Right, Christopher, for the sake of our viewers who may not be familiar with this magazine, Busan Beat, could we start off with some information about it?
Oh, sure. Busan Beat is Busan's currently only print magazine that focuses on Busan and what is happening. Its purpose was really to inform, entertain, and help bring together Busan's expat community with local residents to help promote Busan as the innovative city that it is. When it was founded in 2017 by the Busan Foundation for International Cooperation, which is now the Busan Global City Foundation, it was the second print magazine at the time focused on Busan and local events. Since that first magazine was really focused on the local issues and events that were happening at the time, Busan Beat chose to focus on more of a deeper dive into the city, looking at the events that were coming up, as well as those that had recently passed. Unfortunately, the other magazine became an online-only entity, leaving Busan Beat to fill that role as the print magazine promoting Busan. And the response from the readers has been genuinely positive, with many readers telling me how the magazine has made them aware of so many things that were happening in the city that they didn't know about, and also showed them a different side of the city. Like, our editors are a mixture of Korean and foreigners, and they really pride themselves in their ability to bring light to the best aspects of the city, highlighting the diverse voices that may not be heard otherwise. Busan Beat represents many different communities in the city. And this upcoming issue, we have voices from China, Indonesia, Iran, Korea, the United States, as well as many other people providing voice to what is happening in Busan.
And Christopher, how regular is this publication? Is it a daily publication or a quarterly publication?
Right now, due to budgetary constraints, we are printing biannually. We had been 4 times a year, but right now we're focusing on spring, summer, and winter and fall, focusing on all the issues and all the things that happened during that time period.
Right, and talking about the issues, Farnaz, what has Busan Beat been doing to promote Busan's bid to host the 2030 World Expo?
So Busan Beat magazine, as one of the major magazines that is one of the major publications that is contributing to the city and to the festivals and events that's happening in the city, has been doing a lot, especially during the last year with so many different events that has been happening in the city to promote Busan Beat for World Expo 2030. So luckily I did receive an issue, a copy of an issue of the last Busan Beat that was published for spring and summer in 2023, and that was where the committee actually visited Busan, and so there was specifically a complete report on the Expo week with Busan citizens report on 1 week on-site inquiry mission of BIE. It also includes the important news and festivals and events in Busan. And the really a good thing about the magazine, I believe, is that it's published both in Korean and English. So basically everybody, I guess, can use and can have the benefit of this magazine. It also included the different festivals and events, as I told you, as well as the community events and interviewing with the with the people that have been contributing in the city, and it actually brings to the people the latest and updated news of the city. The one we're actually looking at is my article, which I wrote about the Night of Lights, which was about the fireworks that happened during the visit of the BIE committee to the Busan.
Right, which I heard was quite impressive. Christopher, if right off your head, if I were to ask you to highlight a tangible edge that Busan holds over the competition for the 2030 World Expo, what would you choose to highlight?
Well, before I go on to that, I want to also mention that because Busan Beat is published by the Global City Foundation, the Global City Foundation, as well as the Busan Beat, really helps provide a lot of different material. For instance, we have Busan Global Gathering, which is a connection of people from all around this world to really come and celebrate the diversity in Busan, and we really do promote things like that. As for a tangible edge, there are so many positive things about Busan. From the land itself, it's got 7 beaches, many mountains, I believe 40 named mountains, and the nature really just speaks for itself. We have strong infrastructure, with it being the intersection of Korea's sea and land routes. That's where they they merge, and that's among many other things. It has so many unique buildings, the 7 bridges that really make up the city's landscapes. But really, the strongest edge that Busan has is its people. I've always been welcomed with open arms by the people in the city, and from my first visit, I could feel how warm and welcoming the people are. They're friendly and always looking out for you. When I first started living here, if I got lost, I could count on the locals to point me in the right direction, and they did many, many times. They're passionate, they're full of vigor, and when they set their minds to doing something, they do it 100% without fail. You can see this in the construction of the structures that the city holds as icons, like the Busan Cinema Center, its bridges, the Centum City, among so many other places. As well as its future plans, like the Busan Opera House and the Busan Concert Hall, which are currently being constructed in the North Port area near Busan Station. As well as the North Port revitalization effort, as well as the planned Gadok Airport. All of these things are really like the strengths of Busan.
Right, and going back to Busan's people that Christopher mentioned earlier, Farnaz, what can you share with us about their enthusiasm with regard to the possibility of Busan hosting the 2030 World Expo?
Well, to what I saw and experienced from the people living in Korea and living in Busan specifically, people are really excited and really passionate about this possibility that soon we are going to hear about. Hopefully, we are hearing about the good news. In my experience, many people are actually really excited, and they are doing their best to support the city to promote for Busan to be the host of 2030 World Expo 2030, and they do whatever they can. In the aspect of companies, I have encountered with the companies that are manufacturing and producing special editions for special products for World Expo, and they support and they present it to the city and to the people, and they show their support and they show their passion to basically support the city. I have seen influencers and influencers actually like creating contents, and they really help the city. They really help Busan City and the mayor and the government actually to promote the city more and more. And not only the influencers, basically like all the people, they have the passion to basically create contents and keep the social media also active for Busan. To hopefully showcase World Expo 2030.
Right, hopefully. Christopher, President Yoon Suk-yeol has pledged an expo of solidarity if Busan wins its bid. Now, keeping in mind Busan's past as well as its present, how does this city itself exemplify this sense of unity, if I may?
Well, it's interesting that you bring up the past. Like, Busan really is a city of refugees going back to the Korean War, and it really held the hopes of Korea during some of its darkest days. Going even farther back, Busan has really held these hopes many times in Korea's history, protecting the city from invasion from the east, as well as being the last defense during the Korean War, the Busan front. Busan really helped the country to remember its history and to rise from those dark days better and stronger. It's shown its resilience and is still innovative. The city was able to unite and fuse together Koreans from all walks of life in disparate cities in Korea, uniting them under a unique identity that has helped shape the city to become what it is today. The people of Busan are united to host this event. And you can really feel that as the decision day gets closer, they're really anticipating the results. From the city officials to the regular citizens, the people are excited to welcome the Busan World Expo 2030. I've seen so many events where everyone is simply excited and very, always cheering, getting up in arms to welcome the expo to Busan. And I'm simply amazed at how many parties are on board with the expo. Everywhere you go, you can see the buses. They're covered in different advertisements promoting the bid. Every week we've got 4 drone shows, and they always have the logo of the expo. And every time I see it and that I'm there, I hear people just cheer and very excitedly about the event when they see it. Busan has so many international events during the year, like the Busan International Film Festival, the International Dance Festival, the Busan Choral Competition and Festival, among so many other things. And yet I haven't seen the unity of purpose that I've seen with the World Expo. And I mean, even groups like BTS came down and came out of their semi-retirement to help promote the expo by giving a free concert. It's really great to see, and I'm really glad to see so many people are behind the expo.
Right, indeed. And Farnaz, keeping in mind what Christopher has just said, what do you believe would be the gains for the international community to have Busan host the 2030 World Expo?
Okay, so definitely World Expo as probably the biggest international event that showcase the culture, the development of different countries, which attracts people from all around the world, would definitely help the Busan city to be more well known. And this is what we want. This is what people want for probably investments to come to the country. Definitely for being Busan city more well known, and through the World Expo, there will be more investments coming to the country through the companies, and the collaborations actually would come to the country, which basically are going to be long-lasting collaborations. On the other hand, basically there will be so many people coming to the country which are going to fulfill their wish to come to Korea and come to Busan. And this comes to my last point, which is last but not least, the tourism development. There will be definitely thousands of people, hopefully more, coming to Busan for tourism. And as Christopher mentioned, there are a lot of potentials for this beautiful city in case of culture, festivals and events, the nightlife, which is very special to Busan city, and basically it's really something that we can mention about, we can work on, and so many other attractions that this city has, which are going to attract people, in this case, for the development of tourism for Busan. So overall, they all have different aspects for Busan to gain, hopefully, if we can win the bid for the World Expo 2030.
Right. And beyond Busan, Christopher, what does any city look to gain by hosting a World Expo?
Well, there are just the tangible effects from hosting the World Expo. If you look at it, people will come from all over the world to view the expo and bring their business with them. This is a boost to tourism. The tourism revenues alone should be well worth the marketing expense for any city when they attract the expo, if they win. You can also see improvements in the infrastructure that are to be made in front of the expo's arrival. And then you have the jobs that are attached to all of these improvements. If you just look at Busan, for example, even before the announcement, the revitalization of the North Port has really been sped up because of the bid here. With the two culturally significant places, it's really already led to an increase in construction jobs. There are going to be more hotels that open in the area of the expo. In addition, you've got places like the infrastructure, in Busan, we've got the Gadok Airport, as well as train lines to connect them to these new places. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. Busan is already one of the best locations in Korea, and the visibility of Busan will increase, and it goes for any city, leading to a permanent increase in tourists coming to the city, as well as increasing the whole country's soft power by increasing the goodwill from other countries that they feel for the city as well as the country for a whole. Basically, both the short-term and long-term financial benefits really will come from this, as well as longer-term intangible benefits that will occur because of the World Expo. And I'm really excited and hope that Korea will be selected for this.
Right, and staying with that, back on Busan's bid, Farnaz, you are a member of Expo Friends as a foreign delegate in support of Busan's bid for the 2030 World Expo. Could you tell us a bit about your journey to joining this particular campaign, and also a little bit about your work as an Expo Friend, which I believe we covered back in April when I first met you?
That's true. As an Expo Friend, which is my honor to be a part of that, we actually try to support. Generally, we try to support this bid for Busan World Expo. So Expo Friends consists of 215 foreign residents in Busan from 46 countries that were selected to promote the excellency of Busan as the city to host the World Expo 2030. And I was so excited, and I was honored to be a part of this group. So we all, as Expo Friends, spread the strong aspiration for the World Expo with different activities, appearing on TV programs, such as interviews that I did. There was an Expo song called Keep Going by Expo Friends, and also participation in the promotion videos that the team has been doing really hard work along with Busan City to make promotional videos for the World Expo promotion. So basically, what I did in Expo Friends was the activity as an Expo Friend was to be there to support the team whenever there was any event and festivals. And as a content creator and influencer, I try to use that in order to spread the word and create contents in social media, which basically was my passion. I love Busan, and I loved to be a part of Expo Friend.
Right. Christopher, let's imagine that you were given time to address members of the International Bureau of Expositions, as was the case for President Min Sunhee in Paris back on Thursday. Now, this is prior, of course, to the vote next Tuesday for the host of the 2030 World Expo. What would you say to support Busan's bid? Let's say you have between a minute and 2 minutes.
All right. Well, I would tell them really to take a look at Busan itself. Busan is a city of over 2 million people who have overcome so much in its long history. And it really helped them to form what has come to be one of the foremost tourist destinations in Korea. It has a natural beauty that is unique in that you can go from the mountains to the beaches all in one afternoon. The people of Busan are strong and innovative, and you can see that this place you can see that in this place that started out as a refugee center in the Korean War, from Gamcheon village to Yeongdo, the people of Busan took what was a terrible situation and created a dynamic city that really has become a center of culture for all of Korea. Busan has vibrant tourism, strong hospitals, and unique locations that are the pride of Korea. It is a unique place in Korea as the port of the world, providing the world easy access to all that Korea has to offer. We have strong and diverse bases of industry that has helped Busan and Korea move from being one of the poorest countries in the world to one of the most economically stable. Many smart people have said that the strength of Korea is in the minds of its people, and Busan has that in spades. Busan is culturally diverse, welcoming people from all over the globe, as can be seen in places like Texas Street, which is a combination of US, Chinese, Russian, and other influences. It's a place that will be welcoming to all people, men and women, rich and poor, and treat them equally. Busan really is the best choice to host the World Expo in 2030. Busan is ready. The world is ready for Busan.
Right, Christopher, thank you so much for that. Farnaz, I extend the same task to you. A very short speech, perhaps, in support of Busan's bid for the 2030 World Expo.
Well, with no doubt, Busan is a beautiful city. So I say this in case of Busan, there are gorgeous beaches in this city, which are not from far distance from the city, and they are very accessible. The nightlife, which is very specific and unique in Busan, and also many restaurants and cafes that people can go and enjoy, and it's a part of the culture of this city. And I would like to talk about the cultural aspects of the city. As I mentioned before, this city offers so many events and festivals which are perfect in the location of Busan, on the beaches. They happen on the beaches, in the nature of Busan, in the temples of Busan, and they are great even to visit and to view. And in case of industry, Korea is pioneer in many industries. Many people all around the world, they have Korean products right now in their home and they use it daily. So definitely, I believe Busan is the best for World Expo 2030. Busan is ready, as Christopher mentioned. Busan is ready, and I say this not only because I love Busan, but more importantly because I believe Busan deserves to be the host of World Expo 2030.
All right, Farnaz, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for your time as always, Farnaz. And Christopher, it was a pleasure having you with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Right,
Thank you for having me.
On that note, we say goodbye. For those of you who have yet to have a weekend plan, perhaps a trip to Busan would be a good idea. Have a great weekend and be sure to show in the same time next Monday.